When we think about the activity in the marketplace right now, and we go back to September of last year, we published an article called Where Should You Start with Generative AI? And we've introduced a notion that we call the WINS framework, some of you are familiar with. Just briefly to remind you, the WINS framework says, okay, where does generative AI going to hit my organization? Should I care or can I wait? And we came up with two dimensions that are vital. One is the percentage of cost in your business that has to do with the creation or improvement of words, images, numbers, and sounds, hence WINS. And that includes moving pictures, software, and so forth. If the WINS content of your cost base is high, so think law firm, think marketing company, then you have to pay attention. The second dimension is how digitized is that already? If it's highly digitized and it's a big part of your cost base, we believe you're in the crucible. That is the fundamental economics and process of your business will be reinvented in the next 36 to 60 months. And we have seen in the past 10 months that this is true. You look at what's happening in law firms, banks, biopharma, and so forth. The WINS activities are in fact getting transformed. So that prediction is coming true. If we go to the next one, the second thing that's happening is that we introduced an idea that we call new forms of capital and an article on the bionic company. And the idea here is as things get digitized, it transforms industries in the following way. Traditional industrial capitalism has three forms of capital: people, financial capital, and natural resources. When you digitize things, there's three new forms of capital that are born. Behavioral capital, how I behave, and so forth. Think Facebook when they're selling you ads for, like persons. Network, who do I know and how does that look? Think LinkedIn and that network. And the third is cognitive. How do you think about the problem? How do you solve it cognitively? So far in this new world, we have pretty much given away our behavioral capital and our network capital in exchange for free or discounted services, Google, LinkedIn, and so forth. Now, with generative AI, we're moving into the cognitive layer of capital. So if you think back to WINS and you say, okay, now we have this cognitive layer, how should we think about it? We go to the next one. What we're seeing is if you take the WINS idea, and some of our customers are leading practitioners in production, the way that they're managing the in production generative AI applications we have seen three common themes. First, they use proprietary cloud services, that is, OpenAI, Gemini, and so forth, for prototypes, lower risk applications, things that are not the core of the business. For strategic functions, things that they are very, very protective of their data and their processes, they're opting to bring in open models, and they're using those open models and training them because they think it's too risky right now to take the core assets and to be able to put them out onto a proprietary cloud database, even though they have lots of legal protections and so forth. They're just a little wary to do that. And the third thing is that they're creating key software components for security, that is the traditional security, hey, transaction role-based access, and also variabilization of data, so that the transactions are in fact legit and okay by policy or HIPAA or other regulatory restrictions. And then the other is that many of them are building their own operations job control language, if you will, for the modern world. Now, I know that the folks, including Gemini we'll talk about today, and Vertex AI have some of those things built in them, but some of the leading practitioners are opting to build their own. If we go to the next one, the implications of this, there's three reasons they're doing this, that they want to own their own intelligence. First, they don't like sharing critical data and processes at the core. Second, they don't want to be in the wrong end of a power struggle if they get vertically integrated and locked in with any of the large providers, because they'll have too much market power over them. And third, really interesting question, if artificial intelligence becomes real, will Microsoft and Google and Meta and so forth be able to control AGI from reaching into other data sources? I don't know if that's a real worry, but I thought it was an interesting question. What are the implications? We would say if you're in the Crucible or holding a lever, you should really think about your ownership of intelligence strategy, whether you go vertical with a proprietary or have more of a portfolio like some of the leaders are. This is new territory. And the big model firms are trying to figure it out. You really want to navigate on your own on that one, and you need to lead the discussion. Good news is open source is getting stronger, and some of the frontier models and some of the proprietary models are being more aware of the assets that you're giving up as you help them with cognition, even if it's walled off, that they're being more sensitive to your needs as a corporation. So that's 5 minutes on how wins means own your own intelligence in terms of strategy and risks.